Every year at this time, the chalk goes back down on the dirt, the outfield grass neatly cut, and the hopes of the city fill this great venue. Yes, today, baseball returns to Los Angeles. It's a day that reunites old friends, and a day where new heroes take the stage. A day filled with excitement about our future while we salute and honor our past.
They've done it.
It's a day of optimism, renewal, and joy. For the next 6 months, this iconic stadium will be home to stories yet to be written. Stories of emotion, of power, of redemption, and triumph. Today, everything is in its place. The eyes and hearts of the city are here. Today, Dodger Stadium opens her doors once again, and the next chapter in our history begins.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Friday to you. Welcome to opening day here at Dodger Stadium. A full house, expecting to see what should be another great match between the Giants and the Dodgers, particularly today marking the return of Matt Kemp. But there is a story, an asterisk footnote to the fact that Kemp is playing today. When Matt, who was so full of himself when we were in San Diego, he was so excited with the prospect of playing today. But when he arrived at Dodger Stadium, his name was not in the lineup. Instead, Yasiel Puig's name was in. However, Yasiel, for one reason or another, we're not sure why, but he was late getting to the ballpark. The Dodger team was already on the field practicing, and so Don Mattingly, a rule is a rule, and he took Puig out of the lineup, put Matt Kemp into the lineup, put a frown on Puig's face and a big smile on that of Matt Kemp. So that's the background as Don Mattingly talks to his bench coach, Tim Wallach, and we're about ready to get it underway. Hyun-Jin Ryu, 1-0, could be 2-0 except for that game that Brian Wilson had trouble with in San Diego. However, he comes in with an earned run average of 0. You may remember he was 14-8 last year. He was 2-1 in San Francisco, 0-1 here, and a tough customer to start it off, and that would be Angel Pagan. So Pagan followed by Sandoval and then Posey. And we'll take a look at the Giants for 2014. Pagan, a big swing and a miss, fails to connect. Pagan, a terrific player, means a great deal to the Giants. And all you had to do is look at his numbers and what happened when he was playing and when he wasn't playing. And Pagan, a big difference in the San Francisco attack. He takes a pitch on the outside corner, and the count 1-2 to Angel Pagan. So Pagan with a little 4-game hitting streak. He's hit in all 4 of the Giant games to open up the year, and his record with a 4-game hitting streak checking in. Great way to start the season. So Pagan waits a little time for Ryu, who slows down the pace for the moment. But let's face it, nobody's in a hurry to leave. The next pitch, breaking ball low. Hyun-Jin Ryu, who meant so much to the Dodgers last year and is so meaningfully important now, especially since you have Clayton Kershaw out of the lineup for a while anyway. Clayton is here, draped on the railing, talking with Dan Herron. Now the next pitch to Pagan is swung on and missed, and down he goes. So 1 out in the first inning. We have time now to give you the lineup. You have Pagan leading off in center field, Hunter Pence in right, and Pablo Sandoval at third. Then you have Buster Posey hitting cleanup, Michael Morse in left field, Brandon Belt at first, Brandon Hicks at second, Joaquin Arias at short, and Ryan Vogelsong on the mound. Buster Posey, who has certainly the heart and soul hitting cleanup, and of course he will get a lot of headlines. But don't forget, when you're talking about Giants, whatever you do, don't forget Hunter Pence. The next pitch of the big right fielder, he lifts it into right center. It's playable. Andre Ethier is there, puts it away. Pence, the first Giant to play 162 games, which he did last year. Alvin Dark did it, but that was in 1954. So Pence is in there day in and day out. And now Pablo Sandoval with 2 out in the first inning. Sandoval, switch hitter, ambidextrous, known as the Panda up north. Sandoval off to a slow start. That doesn't mean very much as far as he is concerned. One of the reasons that Sandoval is such a wonderful hitter is the fact that he rarely swings at a ball. He has a look at a pitch, and that's low, and the count 2-0. The best eye in the National League belongs to Freddie Freeman of the Braves. He looks at almost 5 pitches out of the strike zone for every strike. Sandoval looks at about 4. The 2-0 pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back, and the count 2-1. Sandoval reached the heights in the 2012 World Series. He hit 5 home runs. He had the MVP award at the end of it. He had 2 in 1 game for Bruce Bochy, who, by the way, 19 consecutive years as a big league manager is Bruce. 2-1 pitches, low ball 3-1. So Ryu gets a couple of outs with Pagan and Pence. Waiting on deck, Buster Posey. 2 down, first inning, no score. 3-1 the count to Pablo Sandoval. Ryu into the windup, comes back with a pitch that's on the corner. He's been taking so many out of the zone, he's a little embarrassed, going halfway to first base and being called back. Alan Porter is the plate umpire today. Porter is a relatively young umpire, been in the big leagues 3 years, lives in Pennsylvania, went to Montgomery County Community College. First time we've seen him work. 3-2 the count. Ryu into the windup, and the pitch very high, ball 4. Ryu turns his back on home plate in frustration, and that will bring up Buster Posey.
Number 28.
We have a chance. Let's take a look at the Dodgers defensively. They shape up this way. Gonzalez and Gordon, Ramirez, Uribe, Crawford, Kemp, and Ethier, and the battery of Ellis handling Ryu. And now Buster Posey coming up against Hyun-Jin Ryu. Posey 3 for 13. That's a .231 batting average against Ryu. Hyun-Jin deals. That's whacked to left, down the left field corner, short the wall. Karam comes right back to Crawford, and in a moment the Giants have runners at second and third with 2 out. Posey missed by a couple of feet of hitting it into the seats alongside the Dodger bullpen. Came right back to Crawford. So Buster holds up with a long double. So Posey drilled it right down off the wall. In fact, I said a couple of feet, and looking at the tape, it was no more than a foot from going into the seats. So second and third with 2 down, and the batter is Michael Morse. Morse starting off doing very well with his club, hitting .300. Morse is from Fort Lauderdale, was with the Mariners and the Orioles last year. He's been around a while. And Michael takes high and away, ball 1. He was originally drafted by the White Sox about 14 years ago. Lives in Plantation, Florida. Big fella. He's 6'5", 230. He was born in Jamaica. 1 ball and no strikes. Giants have runners at second and third with 2 out. And the next pitch swung on and fouled away. They are hoping that Morse can provide some sock. Last year with the Mariners, he had 13 home runs. It brings up the point that last year all of the Giant left fielders hit a total of 5. So they look to Morse to lead the way. He can also play first base if need be. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ryu deals a little slider on the inside corner, late break or just a cutter. 1-2 the count. So Ryu working right around the plate, except a Sandoval just ran it in there nicely for a strike. Top of the first, 2 out. Giants have runners at second and third. Giants won the season series against the Dodgers last year. Morse takes down and away. So deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and 2 on at second and third as we begin the year at home. Waiting on deck is Brandon Belt, who has 3 home runs in 4 games this year. Ryu with first base open, trying to get Morse. And the 2-2 pitch swung on, banged into center for a base hit. 2 runs will score. It's bobbled in center by Kemp. Morse is going to second, and he will be in there with a slide. So a bad first inning with 2 out, a walk, a double, a single for 2, and then Kemp in his haste to pick up the ball lets it get away. And Morse will advance to second base, and we assume an error will go up against the Dodgers. So Michael Morse comes up with a key base hit. It's 2-0 San Francisco. Single and an error charged to Matt Kemp. So Ryu had not allowed a run, but he is roughed up here in the first inning. For Matt Kemp out there in center field, it's been a while. Fly ball into shallow right. That's trouble. It's going to drop. On his way to the plate is Morse. It's cut off by Gonzalez. So Brandon Belt with a fly ball single to right to score Morse. And just like that, the Dodgers in a severe hole, 3-0. And the batter will be Brandon Hicks. So Bruce Bochy's club came in here with a record of 3-1. Last year they won 11 of the 19, splitting 10 here and beating the Dodgers 6 of 9 up in San Francisco. So Brandon Hicks with a somewhat upset Ryu. 3-0 in favor of San Francisco in the first inning. Hicks, right-hand batter. A couple of Brandons in the lineup with Belt in front of him. And Hicks checks in and takes ball 1. In the Giants' 4-game series in Arizona, 17 of their 23 runs batted in came with 2 out. And that's exactly what they've done today. They've scored twice and then picked up the 3rd run after 2 out. So Hicks waiting at the plate. Hitting behind him, Joaquin Arias. And the next pitch lifted to the right side. Looking up is Gonzalez. Gordon lost it, and it's going to drop for a base hit. And the Giants have runners at second and third. As soon as the ball was hit in the air, D. Gordon held his hands out. He didn't know where it was. Finally, Gonzalez and Ethier realized the second baseman was in trouble, and by that time the ball dropped amongst the 3. So the Dodgers start off on a very bad foot. A pop fly double with 2 out. Brandon Belt stopping at third. So for Ryu, more problems, and still not out of the inning. Gonzalez couldn't make it up for him. Ethier couldn't get in. And now the Dodgers are meeting at the mound, and there might be something wrong with Ryu. Remember when Ryu was pitching in Sydney, Australia, he tore a toenail rounding third and then jamming on the brakes. Ryu then pitched well, however, in San Diego, went out leading 1-0. But it could be the Dodgers are just checking. There's a lot of things sore on Ryu, and it might not be the toenail. With 2 out, he walked Sandoval. Then Posey doubled, almost hitting a home run. That put runners at second and third. Morse singled to drive in 2. Belt singled to right to drive in the third. And Hicks winds up with a Sun double, a little pop fly in shallow right. So put the Dodgers under the heading of the best laid plans of mice and men, at least for the moment. And the batter now, Joaquin Arias, and he always gave the Dodgers a bad time last year. So they will walk him intentionally and try to get out of the inning against Ryan Vogelsong. You know, we mentioned that the Giants won the season series from the Dodgers last year, 11 games to head. Even though they had a down year, Bochy's boys did not lose a season series to a National League West opponent. In fact, They haven't lost one since 2010, when the Padres, of all people, beat them 12 of 18. Against the West last year, the Giants were 44 and 32.
Number 32.
However, last year, the Giants were only 11 wins and 23 losses against the National League Central. And in the 10 interleague games, they went 2 and 8 against the American League. But they're a good club. They figure to make some noise, and they've made it today thanks to a little help from the Dodgers. And with the bases loaded, it's Ryan Vogelsong who fouls the first pitch back. So Arias at first, Hicks at second, Belt at third. Giants have put up 3. The Giants beat the Dodgers here last year. I think it was 19-3. We'd have to look it up. But they really did put it to the Dodgers in one game that I remember, or then again try to forget. The next one missing, 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Ryan Vogelsong. So 2 out, bases loaded, 3-0 San Francisco. High fly ball, could be trouble into shallow left center. It drops. 2-run score. It is 5-0 San Francisco as Ryan Vogelsong gets a fly ball single in no man's land. Equidistant amongst going out Ramirez, coming in Kemp, and cutting over Crawford. So Ryan Vogelsong comes up with that key base hit to cash in 2 more. 5 runs and 5 hits. In looking it up, the game where the Giants just knocked the Dodgers from pillar to post was September the 14th last year. Tim Lincecum got the win. Ricky Nolasco lost it. The score 19-3. Of course, you only have to lose by 1. And now Angel Pagan hits a one-hopper by the shortstop Ramirez. Scoring easily is the 6th run for the Giants, and they now have runners in first and second again.
Right fielder.
So the sky is falling on the Dodgers right now. Giants all over them, and Hyun-Jin Ryu. Line drive hopper just by Ramirez and through into center field. So Pagan a base hit, just to remind the Dodgers what a tough out he is as he picks up the run batted in. And the batter now is Hunter Pence, who flied to right field in the first inning. And Hunter backs off the pitch in for a strike. 0-1 to Hunter. So the Dodgers find themselves in a bleak position. You know, in one game last year, Hunter Pence drove in 7 runs himself against the Dodgers. Pitch in the dirt, blocked nicely by A.J. Ellis. So 6 runs on 6 hits and 2 walks and an error so far. 1 ball and 1 strike. The next pitch by Ryu, low and inside, 2-1 the count. In the Dodger bullpen, he is considered the long man. He's also over 6'5". Jamie Wright loosening up here in the first inning. 6-0 San Francisco. Hyun-Jin delivers high and tight, and that runs the count to 3-1. So behind Pence, Hunter Pence in that game against the Dodgers, with Sandoval hitting back of him, 7 RBIs on the 14th of September. This will be the 35th pitch from Ryu, and it's low, and that will load him up. So you want to talk about being off your game. Rio is certainly out of sorts.
Pablo Sandoval.
And it'll be the 12th man coming up. So the Giants have loaded the bases. 2 out, and Sandoval ready to come up. Of course, what might have been. That would be Clayton Kershaw, who figured in the best laid plans to be the starting pitcher today. You know the background on Clayton. There's no reason to talk more about that. So he did not make it. The Dodgers felt very confident about Ryu. However, they did huddle around him once with the trainer. They are huddling around him again, and the plate umpire Alan Porter just comes out and says, "Come on, boys, let's speed it along. This inning is long enough." So 6 runs, 6 hits, 3 walks, and an error. And Jamie Wright about ready in the pen. There's not very much to get ready for, I guess, here in the first inning. So here's Pablo Sandoval, who walked with 2 out in the first inning. Went 3-2 in the count. Remember, called back on a strike. And he probably lifts it to right. This one is playable, catchable, and that's the 3rd out. So Sandoval lines out to Ethier in right field. Huge inning for the Giants. 12 men come to the plate, 6 come home, and they lead 6-0. As the Giants score 6 in the first inning, and the Dodgers trying to recover as Carl Crawford will try to lead them back. The Dodger lineup is this way. Crawford starts off in left field. Matt Kemp, who has played in 179 games in 2 years, is in center field. Hanley Ramirez at short, and Adrian Gonzalez at first base. Andre Ethier in right field. Juan Uribe at third, A.J. Ellis the catcher, D. Gordon at second base, and Hyun-Jin Ryu will be the pitcher. On the mound, Ryan Vogelsong, 6'4", 215-pounder, born in North Carolina, but he lives in Massachusetts. Giants drafted him out of Kutztown University in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It's about 60 miles from Baltimore. He grew up idolizing Cal Ripken. And in 2012, Vogelsong was really something. He had had Tommy John surgery in 2001, but in 12, late in August, he was the National League ERA leader, 2.2. And then his final starts, his earned run average ballooned to 6.7. And then last year, a disastrous year, winning only 4 games and an ERA of almost 6. So we'll see as Vogelsong tries to come back, and Crawford has a look at ball 1-0. Again for Ryu, 37 pitches. 3 of the hits were on the first pitch, 20 balls and 17 strikes. So Carl Crawford checking in, trying to get something started. Swings, fouls it away off third, down the line, back into the sellout crowd. So Carl, plagued by injuries on and off last year, and hopeful to stay healthy and have a big year this year. Facing a former All-Star from 2 years ago, Ryan Vogelsong. Right-hander turns on the rubber, and the 1-1 pitch taken low and away. Ball 2, 2-1. So Ryu, who had 12 innings without allowing a run, gives up a half a dozen. And the Dodgers in a deep hole, trying to extricate themselves here in the bottom of the first inning. Vogelsong's 2-1 pitch on the way. Crawford lifts a high fly ball to center. Going back forward is Pagan. Has to go to the track as the ball carried well for a long out. one away.
Number 27.
And now the return, a day that he has waited for so long. Matt Kemp in the starting lineup and coming up to the plate. Hitting back of him, Hanley Ramirez. 6-0 in favor of San Francisco. Matt last year played in 73 games, hit .270 with 6 home runs, 33 runs batted in. So Matt waiting, Vogelsong ready and delivers, and the first pitch on the corner for a strike. Interesting with Matt Kemp and without, while he played, the Dodgers were 19 games above 500. Without him, they were 13 games above 500. He slices one foul off to the right into the lower deck. 0-2 the count to Matt Kemp. Waiting on deck, Hanley Ramirez. Yasiel Puig, what is it? They also serve who only stand and wait, and you also have to serve when you show up late. The strike 2 pitch on the way, and Kemp has a look, and that's low, ball 1. 1-2. 6 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Giants. No runs, 1 out, bottom of the first inning for the Dodgers. Vogelsong hands it his sides, getting a sign from Posey. And the 1-2 pitch on the way, low and inside, ball 2. 2-2. So Matt says he is ready, was bursting to play, and he gets in on a pass, as we mentioned. Puig was a little bit late. Though Kemp in the lineup. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Vogelsong turns on the rubber. The right-hander delivers. Fly ball to right field. Watching it come to him as Pence comes up a couple of steps. And with 2 fly balls, 2 down in the first inning. And the batter will be Hanley Ramirez. Ramirez, as he did all last year, had a key double to drive into in that big game with San Diego to send the Dodgers home on a win. Hanley, however, off to a slow start, just 2 for 19. So Ramirez very deliberate before getting in. Vogelsong looks down, watching him. Now Vogelsong is ready, and so is Hanley. And the first pitch off speed on the outside corner for a strike, and the count 0-1. Ramirez has had trouble against Vogelsong. He is just 1 for 11. No balls and 1 strike. Vogelsong ready and comes back, works it off the plate, and that balances things. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tomorrow afternoon, the Dodgers will see Madison Bumgarner, and Paul Maholm will go up against Madison. And then Sunday at 5, Matt Cain and Zach Greinke. Vogelsong's 1-1 pitch on the way, foul back to the screen, and the count 1-2. If you turned in a little late, you have missed a great deal. The Giants scoring 6 runs on 6 hits, 3 walks after 2 are out. And it began a walk to Sandoval by Hyun-Jin Ryu, sitting back in the dugout and reflecting on that inning. Vogelsong ready. Ramirez waits, and the 1-2 pitch. Hanley swings, lifts a pop fly, shallow center. Late start in left field, but Morris catches up to the ball anyway, and that's that. So Vogelsong retires the side, 3 fly balls, and at the end of an inning, 6-0, San Francisco. the emphasis on day. When the Dodgers were in Brooklyn, they always opened up in the daytime for opener, even though they did put up lights in 1938 or 9. But when the Dodgers came out here, the only time they opened up would be in 1958 in the Coliseum in the daytime, and 1962 here at Dodger Stadium. Fastball away, ball 1 to Buster Posey. And when Fred Clare was vice president of marketing with the Dodgers, he decided opening day should be the way to go. After 62, all the other games we'd open at night, and it seemed like it was just another game. And when Fred made it an opening day in 1977, it really clicked. And here we are with another sellout crowd. Off-speed pitch in for a strike, and they count 1-2. That opening day in 1977, a game with a little story behind it. Maybe you remember Don Sutton was pitching against the Giants. Ryu misses down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now the ball that they were going to use for that opening day was going to be sent to Cooperstown. And the leadoff man for the Giants was a left-hand hitter named Gary Thomason. Breaking ball fouled off by Posey, and a 2-ball 2-strike count. Wouldn't you know, Don Sutton's first pitch to Gary Thomason, he had a line drive home run into the right field stand. Sutton went on to be the winningest pitcher in Dodger history, but that day was a rough one. He did pick up the victory. Posey fouls it back into the stands. 2-2 the count. I guess, at least at the outset, this is a day to tell a story or two. Down 6-0, second inning. And that foul ball into the stands reminds me of something. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Buster, and that's off the plate, ball 3. When we were in Sydney, Australia, the cricket fans who came to the baseball game were thrilled to learn that they could keep foul balls. Because in cricket, that rare time when the ball winds up in the stands, they give it back. Posey fouls the pitch away. Well, you may not know it, but back in the 1900s, right up until the 20s, the baseball owners said, these balls are ours. We paid for them. If we hit it in the stands, we want it back. And they always had to give the ball back. And then there was a game in Baker Bowl in Philadelphia. There was a foul ball in the stands, and an 11-year-old boy caught it. The pitch to Posey fouled away. His name was Robert Cotter, 11 years old. And they said, okay, kid, give the ball back. He said, no. They said, what do you mean, no? Well, he said, I caught it. They not only arrested him, 11 years old, they put him in jail for the night for keeping the foul ball. 3-2 pitch to Posey, another foul ball. Anyway, the next day, they had a little trial. They had a judge, and the judge listened to this little boy saying, sir, I scrambled, caught the foul ball. I feel it's mine. And the judge said, you know, son, you're right. I do not think it was anything more than thoroughly natural for an 11-year-old to want to catch a foul ball. Talking about a foul ball, Posey has hit yet another. So when the judge said, you keep the foul ball, that did it. From then on, anyone who caught a foul ball in the stands could keep it. Only on a 6-0 game in the second inning do you talk about a kid. Meanwhile, this is going to be the 12th pitch for Buster Posey here in the second inning. Ryu ready, and the 3-2 pitch swung on. Ground ball to short. Ramirez up with it, takes plenty of time. Throws in the dirt. Oh, wow. Ramirez taking so much time, and then threw a sinker. Gonzalez tried to backhand it, couldn't do it. Hanley will draw an error. And for the Dodgers, they almost feel like, let's call this off. We'll all go back to the clubhouses. We'll come back out and start the game. Ramirez a little casual, not getting anything on the throw, so Posey reaches on the error. Well, of course, that's all Ryu needs. Poor defense in a game where he's already given up 6 hits and 6 runs. Somewhat embarrassed Ramirez, I'm sure. Second Dodger error. And Ryu's pitch lifted foul. Gonzalez coming over to the stands, looking, watching, and it goes back in. So Michael Morse, who singled to drive in a couple in the first inning, which is a great way to start off with a new team. 0-1 the count. By the way, to conclude the story on Don Sutton and that famous home run hit by Gary Thomason on the first pitch, that was the only run that Sutton allowed. He pitched a 4-hitter, went the distance, and the Dodgers won the game 5-1. High foul ball. Gonzalez at the railing of the Giant dugout and makes the catch. One away, and the batter Brandon Belt. So holding at first is Buster Posey. Belt single to right in the first inning. He's on a tear. 3 home runs in the first 4 games. In fact, people are wondering about Brandon Belt. This could be the year where he puts up some big numbers. He's already hitting .360, and I know Bochy and company feel he has the talent, the ability to post some very big numbers. He looks at a breaking ball strike and the count 0-1. Last year, for instance, Brandon Belt hit .289, his slugging percentage .481, on base .360, which is very comparable to Paul Goldschmidt of the Arizona Diamondbacks. So Belt, 6'5", 220, big Texan from Nacogdoches, went to the University of Texas, 6'5" and 220. So Belt with a great name for a good hitter. Checks on a pitch in on the knuckles. 2-1 the count. Belt last year, 17 home runs, 67 runs batted in, .289 batting average. Brandon, a 5th round pick back in 2009, waves at a pitch. 2-2 the count. So we are in the second inning. If you just got off a plane from Guam, it's 6-0 in favor of San Francisco. This opening day. Ryu set at the belt, looks over at first, back he comes, and it's fouled away off the protective railing that say Bochy. Came right at the skipper. Bruce Bochy, born in France. His father was a staff sergeant in the Army. Spent a lot of time at the Pentagon, so he grew up in Virginia. 2-2 pitch on the way, swung on, little ground ball in the hole. Plugging it up is Gordon, makes the hurry throw in time for the out. Down to second base goes Posey, and the batter will be Brandon Hicks.
Brandon Hicks.
So 2 out, a man aboard. Ryu just trying to get out of the inning. The Dodgers will have Gonzalez, Ethier, and Uribe coming up. Brandon Hicks was a non-roster player. He had played in A-ball and AAA last year. Darned if he didn't make the club, and now makes the opening day lineup at Dodger Stadium. And the first pitch, a little low, ball 1. Usually a tip-off on a pitcher is how many swings and misses, how many swings and contact, whether fair or foul. For Ryu, before that first pitch, there were only 3 Giants to swing and miss 3 pitches. 12 foul balls, and Posey, of course, hit a bunch of them. The 1 ball, no strike count, fastball swung on and missed, 1-1. Brandon Hicks, another Texan, born in Houston, lives in Pasadena, Texas, right outside of Houston. 6'2", 215. Ryu looking back at Posey at second base, and the 1-1 pitch just inside and low. 2-1 the count. At least for the moment, the Giants have taken the crowd right out of the game. 6-0 San Francisco, top of the second. Ryu set, another look back at second, off-speed pitch. There it is, fouled away. And the count stays 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brandon Hicks, a Texan, wound up finishing his college education at Texas A&M. So Brandon waits. Ryu set, looks back at Posey. Now to the hitter, and a fastball low and inside. The Ryu has now made 62 pitches, and he's only in the second inning. Brandon Hicks, trying to run the count all the way, has succeeded. He doubled in the first inning on a pop fly into right field. This time he lifts one to left center and deep. Kemp going back to the track at the wall. Can't make the catch as he bangs into the wall. Posey will score on the long double by Brandon Hicks. And it is 7-0 San Francisco. So Kemp did everything right except the wall as he reached up, got his glove on the ball. The hand hit the wall and he came up empty. And for Brandon Hicks, who had a pop fly double, this time he doubles off the glove of Kemp in dead center. Posey scores a second time. 7 runs, 7 hits against Ryu. So Matt, fighting with the wall, comes up a little short. And the batter is Joaquin Arias. And the count 0-1 to Arias. Boy, baseball can be such a humbling game, like life itself. And for the Dodgers, they're tasting vinegar right now. Line drive down the left field line. That's going to score Hicks. A long single for Arias. It is 8-0 in favor of San Francisco. And we're in the second inning. So Arias continues to wear the Dodgers out, even on opening day, after doing a number on them. Though Joaquin Arias, line drive single. No chance, no reason to stretch it. Though it is 8-0 in favor of San Francisco. And we do come back to think of that 19-3 defeat the Dodgers suffered. Jose Dominguez, the youngster who was sent out, called back when Brian Wilson went on the shelf. And the young hard-throwing right-hander begins to warm up in the bullpen. 8 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Giants. No runs, no hits, 2 errors for the Dodgers. It is, in the old-fashioned Sandlot terms, a skunking right now. So Dominguez, Ryu will not be up for a while. He's due to bat 6th. So for Mattingly in a runaway game, he sends Rick Honeycutt out. Now that's a message, huh? You send Honeycutt out. What do you say to a pitcher who has given up 8 runs, 8 hits, walked 3, and has had 2 errors committed back of him? Probably hang in there. It's remarkable. Remember, there were 2 outs in this inning. In the first inning, with Pagan and Pence out, the Giants scored 6. In the second inning, the error on Posey's ball, Morse fouled out, and with 2 out, the Giants come right back again with a double and a single. And they are now breezing 8-0. All with 2 out. In Arizona, as we mentioned earlier, the Giants scored 17 of their 23 runs with 2 out. So Ryan Vogelsong has had a lot of problems, but not today as far as runs provided. And the batter is Vogelsong, and he takes a strike. He joined the fun. He had a base hit in the first inning. Eight nothing San Francisco, top of the second inning. Fastball fouled upstairs, second level. 0-2 the count to Vogelsong. Vogelsong, right-hand batter, takes a hook, and it's a little low, ball 1. Rather animated Giant dugout, as you can well imagine. Everybody getting well. They would go 4-1 to climb over the Dodgers today. There's strike 3 call to Vogelsong. Bit of a sarcastic cheer. And at the end of an inning and a half, despite the score, the crowd still happy. 8-0 San Fran. Year with superior performing tires that knock it out of the park. Goodyear, more driven. 8-0 in favor of the Giants. Bottom of the second inning. Gonzalez, Ethier, and Uribe in that order. By the way, not to pump up anything, but I just wanted to explain to anybody who was in the ballpark. They asked me to throw out the ball today because of all my years, etc. And they had Sandy Koufax to catch my pitch. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, no way is this weak left-handed hacker going to throw a ball to be caught by the great Sandy Koufax, the best left-hander we ever saw. So with the help of the grandkids, I wound up where my little mound was directly in front of the plate, and I just handed the ball to Sandy. But I would like to thank the Dodgers for going to such great efforts to make it a great kickoff, especially seeing some of the great names in Dodger history around home plate. Gonzalez doesn't hang around. He hits one off Belt's glove. It's recovered by Hicks, who throws to Vogelsong, and just like that, it's a 3-4-1 play. One down. For those of you who were not watching at the time, we can understand. I just handed the ball to Sandy. I didn't have the guts to throw to him, and my God bless them all, the grandkids, 16 of them behind me. And it was just a very heartwarming moment for me. Yeah, it was great. Okay, that's enough of me. One out, second inning, and Andre Ethier coming up. Dodgers trying to wake up offensively. You know, they weren't really hitting at all anyway going into this game. Ethier takes a pitch high and away, ball one. They scored in Sydney, but not that much. 3 runs the first game, 7 because Arizona played fast and loose with the ball. Then they came home and really struggled in San Diego. You know, they won 2 out of 3 in San Diego. You know what the team hit in that series? 185. 185. And so they come home and open up, and they get buried today, out to nothing. And now they're going to be able to dig themselves out from under. It'll be quite a task. 8-0 Giants. Ethier swings, doesn't get it. 1-2. Well, for the Dodgers, one game is not the season, of course, but it certainly is a big slice of humble pie to remind them, after all the great hopes following the finish to last year, there's another mountain you have to climb. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Vogelsong into the windup. The pitch to Ethier off the plate, and the count 2-2. Andre Ethier hit a $1.25 against Bumgarner. He'll see him tomorrow, maybe, or maybe Puig will be in there. He hit $2.50 against Vogelsong, and the 2-2 pitch is fouled away up into the stands, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Madison Bumgarner, who is so vital to the Giants, he'll be on the hill tomorrow, and of course that will spell trouble for any ball club, and especially a team that's struggling to score runs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ethier waiting, 1 out. 8-0 in favor of San Francisco, and that sprayed foul off to the left. Still 2-2. And then again, the final game of the series Sunday at 5. Matt Cain and Zach Greinke. So Ryan Vogelsong trying to recover, working up against the Dodgers. Greinke squinting, looking out at Vogelsong. Ryan was absolutely brilliant in the 2012 World Championship year. Pitched Ethier just off the plate. In fact, he went 3-0. He had an ERA of 1 in his 4 postseason starts. He became the second Giant pitcher in the last 100 years to have 3 straight starts of allowing 1 earned run or fewer in a single postseason. The only other was a teammate, Matt Cain, who did it in 2010. Meanwhile, the Dodgers get a base runner as Andre Ethier draws a walk. Juan Uribe coming up. So Andre Ethier at first, held on by Brandon Belt. Interesting comparing the two teams, and it's amazing that there are lies, damned lies, and statistic, as they say. When you look at the Giants, at first, you say, how in the world did they play as well as they did in the Western Division, beat up on the Western Division, and not win it? Uribe takes a strike. First of all, they beat the Dodgers 11 of 19, and they were 12 games above 500 within the Western Division. I mean, the Dodgers in the Western Division were 2 games under 500. The next pitch to Uribe holds up as high, but once you get out of the West, there's a huge difference. The Dodgers won 55 and lost 31 outside of the Western Division, and the Giants went the other way. They won only 32 and lost 54. So the battle for the West was determined in the Central and the East. Good note to keep in mind when we get deep into the season. 1-1 pitch is off speed. 2-1 the count. Uribe is 5 for 12 against Vogelsong. That would be a .417 batting average. So Ryan, the silk glove treatment with Ethier at first and 1 out. Only in the second inning, 8-0 Giants. And the 2-1 pitch on the way. Right-handed delivers. Uribe hits a high fly ball, but playable to left field. Going back is Moore, still on the grass. Makes the catch. Ethier returns to first. So Uribe hits under it. Long fly ball, 2 down. Of the 5 outs for the Dodgers, 4 of the 5 outs have been fly balls. To sum up Vogelsong last year, when he was struggling indeed, he had a lot of problems, wound up 4-6. He didn't get 2 strikes on very many hitters. He was hit very hard in the first 3 pitches in the count. Right-hander working now on A.J. Ellis with D. Gordon hitting back of him. A.J., like everybody else, struggling, hitting .188. Vogelsong delivers, got it in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Another difference for Vogelsong, ERA of 3 2 years ago, who was almost 6 last year. The second time around, hitters were very successful against him. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Ellis takes high, 1-1. The middle innings really gave him a lot of grief. The middle innings, the hitters, whoever they were, hit .324 against him. Huge jump from the year before. So this is the first time through the lineup. His problems begin the second time as A.J. fouls it off. 1-2 the count. Ellis lost an extra base hit the other night on a great catch. Will Venable crashing into the right field wall at Petco Park. Interesting, too, that Vogelsong had so much trouble last year with 2 out. The opposition hit .301 against him with 2 out. So the right-hander, who has been through a lot, 1-2 the count. Ryan delivers. Ellis swings late, and down he goes. So strikeout number 1 for Vogelsong. The Dodgers leave Ethier. And at the end of 2 innings, 8-0 San Francisco. Nothing as we go to the third inning. A reminder tomorrow, Robin Thicke will give a performance before the game with the Giants. Show begins at 12:30. First pitch set for 1:10 p.m. And to be there for the concert and the game, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Third inning, 8-0 in favor of the Giants. Young Jose Dominguez will be coming in. Throws very hard, but as a young flamethrower, he also has a lot of trouble throwing strikes. So we'll see what he does today. At Chattanooga last year, he walked 8, but he struck out 28. The Dodgers would be thrilled if he could do anything close to that. They sent him down because his last game, he was very wild. For the Giants, well, they're just too much today. The Dodgers gave up 6 runs in 3 games in San Diego, and the Giants scored 6 in the first inning, added 2 more, and they lead 8-0. Fastball is a little low, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Angel Pagan struck out, singled. Dominguez pitching from a stretch, trying to improve his control. Young Jose ready, and the pitch swung on. Fly ball to left field, going back a little as Crawford turns now, makes the catch, and we have 1 away. So Pagan a fly ball to left, and Hunter Pence coming up. We were talking about Pence earlier. Number 1, he played in 162 games, the only major leaguer to do that last year. An exciting, fun player to watch, and highly talented. When the Dodgers played the Giants in September of 2013, Hunter Pence hit a home run. Actually, he homered in all 4 games of that series. He takes a strike. So he wound up in the series with 5 home runs, 12 RBIs, 7, as we mentioned earlier, in 1 game. That was the game that he had 7 RBIs in 5 innings. And the Giants won 19-3. He's the first Giant since 1965 to homer in every game of a 4-game series against the Dodgers. Willie Mays did it in August of 1965 at Candlestick. And he had 1 home run, did Mays, against Don Drysdale and Sandy Koufax. One ball and 2 strikes. Pence swings, doesn't get a pitch down and away. So Dominguez picks up a strikeout. Ryu began the game. Little did we know, he struck out Pagan to start the game and then was never heard from again. So here's Sandoval, who thought he had ball 4, was called back on what made the count 3-2, and then walked. And that opened up the dike. Came with 2 out, and in rushed a half a dozen runs. Pablo rolls 1 foul. 0-1. Sandoval has walked, lined out to right, 0 for 1. Eight runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Giants. Nothing for the Dodgers but 2 errors. Now the pitch to Pablo is outside. As we mentioned earlier before the onslaught, he has an exceptionally good eye for the strike zone. Best man in the league, Freddie Freeman of the Braves. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. 1-2 the count. Pablo ambidextrous, facing Dominguez, trying to get him out. Youthful right-hander. Dominguez from San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic. And a drive into left center. Crawford comes over to make the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning for young Jose Dominguez. And at the end, a 2.5, 8-0 Giants. Giants as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Hunter Holmes, staff sergeant, is our veteran of the day, getting the applause from the crowd. I mentioned a little earlier some of the things that have happened here at opening day, and certainly one of the things that gives me great joy and delight is the fact that Good Buddy is doing the public address announcing today, and that, of course, would be Dodger broadcaster Ross Porter, who had such a remarkable and wonderful career, and Ross coming back to be honored. The Dodgers will have different people doing the public address, and Ross will be the first one, appropriately enough, on opening day. D. Gordon will start it off. Then it'll be Dominguez, followed by Crawford. So Gordon trying to get something started desperately against Vogelsong. And D takes high, ball 2-0. So Gordon off to a good start, as we've mentioned throughout spring training. He's bigger now, about 13 pounds heavier than he was last year. And he's had success against Vogelsong. He takes a strike, and they count 2-1. Gordon hitting .333, 6 for 18 against the right-hander. So Gordon waiting at the plate. Vogelsong taking a long time as he looks in. Gordon hitting .385. Swings, hits a flare into left field for a base hit. So D. Gordon opens up with a single to left as the Dodgers somehow try to crawl back. Great series, of course, with the Giants. So many things have happened since the series started back in 1890, May the 3rd. Giants lead 1,201 wins to 1,173. There were 18 ties in the old days. Dodgers at Dodger Stadium, however, have won 43 more games than the Giants here. Giants have won 8 Western titles. Dodgers 12, trying to make it 13. Vogelsong ready and delivers to Dominguez. That's a strike, and they count 0-1. Dodgers are down 8-0. You know, there's somebody in the Dodger dugout who could give a pep talk saying, hey, I've been through this, and we came back. You know who I'm talking about? Dodger pitcher Dan Herron. 0-1 the count. There goes Gordon. The pitch is a strike. The throw down, he has stolen it. Well, you might as well practice, right? I mean, you're down 8-0. Why play it cozy on Posey? So they run Gordon, and he steals. You don't see teams stealing bases down 8-0. When Dan Herron, who just pitched a gem the other night in San Diego, when Dan Herron was with Oakland, he gave up 8 runs in the first 2 innings. And Oakland came back to win the game and give him a victory. So it's not impossible, not in this great game. Anything can happen. Sure, the Dodgers are down, pinned to the mat, but we'll see. So Gordon at second, nobody out. Dominguez on a 1-2 count. On deck, Carl Crawford. Vogelsong looks in, getting a sign, right-hander ready. Crawford waits, and the pitch to Dominguez swung on and missed, and down he goes. That would be the second strikeout for Ryan Vogelsong, and it brings up Dominguez. Carl Crawford flied to center, leading off in the bottom of the first inning. It's awfully early to give batting averages, but some folks like to know exactly what a man is hitting. So Crawford climbs in, hitting .308 at the start of the game, but the numbers with so few at-bats fluctuate wildly. For Vogelsong, he made 13 pitches in the first inning, 17 in the second, and he has made 9 so far here in the third. He has Gordon with a stolen base at second base. Vogelsong looks back, now works the plate away. For D. Gordon, 2 for 2 in stolen bases. Carl Crawford has a stolen base this year. Hanley Ramirez picked up a stolen base as well. 2 balls and no strikes the count. Kemp on deck. Crawford takes up and away. Ball 3. So a leadoff single by Gordon, who steals second. Dominguez struck out. And Crawford up there now. 3-0. Vogelsong ready. Ryan delivers and gets it in there for a strike. 3-1. We mentioned earlier that Vogelsong has gone through a lot. One of the things that really shook him up, and it would shake up anybody, was he was afflicted by Bell's palsy. It freezes the side of your face. Had no idea where it came from, but he has fought his way back. 3-1 pitch is taken, a high strike. Crawford started to go to first. 3-2. So the pitch somewhere around the zone. I think Carl thought the pitch was outside, but it goes ball 4. So he comes back. D. Gordon holding at second. Vogelsong a long look in. Now he's ready. And the right-hander's 3-2 pitch swung on, hit in the air to left. Moving over to get it is Michael Morrison. Back to second base is Gordon. So Crawford, a fly ball to center, now a fly ball to left, and Matt Kemp coming up. Fly to right field in the first inning. Among other things for Ryan Vogelsong, he spent 3 years in Japan. And a couple of Americans over there, Jeff Williams and Andy Sheets, kind of taught him how to live, how to act, how to fit in. And, of course, being an American, how to find a cheeseburger. Then when Ryan's wife became pregnant with their first child, they decided to return to the United States. And the first pitch to Kemp, down and away, ball 1, 1-0. So Matt is back. We'll see how much of catch-up he has to play. 8-0 Giants. Third inning, Gordon at second with 2 out. Vogelsong at the belt. Another look back at second. And the 1-0 pitch on the way, taken off the plate again. Ball 2. So Vogelsong trying to pick up a victory, trying to recover from a bad year last year. Ryan, when he went to college, he was a backup shortstop and the starting third baseman. And then a couple of pitchers suffered broken arms, and he became a pitcher. And the next thing you know, that was his livelihood. The 2-0 pitch, ball 3. Interesting, he said when he first started to pitch, he was throwing 88, 89. By the time he got to be a sophomore, he was hitting 92 and 93, won 6 or 7 games, and he was locked in. Waiting on deck, Hanley Ramirez. 3-0 pitch on the way in there. 3-1. So Ryan Vogelsong, veteran right-hander, 37 in July. Been pitching professionally since 1998. 3-1 the count to Matt Kemp. Vogelsong comes back, 3-1 high and inside, ball 4. So the Dodgers get 2 men aboard in the third inning. A little glimmer of hope, and for Bruce Bochy, of course, has to make sure his club doesn't get content leading 8-0, which would be doubtful anyway, especially in this rivalry. So Hanley Ramirez flied to left field in the first inning. It's been a struggle up to now. Ramirez hitting 105 coming into the game and flied to left, so he's now batting 100. 2 runs batted in. He had that double to drive into in San Diego, pulled the ball inside third down the line. Vogelsong ready, checks the runners and works the fish pitch inside, ball 1, 1-0. Hanley in the past against Ryan Vogelsong hitting less than 100. So 0 for 1 today. He is 1 for 12 in his career against Ryan Vogelsong. Gordon is at second. Kemp is at first. And the 1-0 pitch, a strike. And the count 1-1. Ryan Vogelsong got a base hit in that wild first inning. He didn't bat in spring training. And last year he had 2 hits in the entire season, 2 for 29. And the next pitch on the outside corner looked like a little cutter. And the count 1-2. So Hanley in a hole. Adrian Gonzalez on deck. 8-0 San Francisco. They scored 6 in the first and 2 more in the second. Vogelsong, who had Tommy John surgery in 2001. Right-hander's 1-2 pitch. Ramirez swings. Little foul off to the right and out of play. For Ryan Vogelsong, he tells of a most memorable moment. He was with the Giants and he replaced Barry Zito, who was hurt. And he received a tremendous ovation after pitching a terrific game against Colorado. And when he came off the field, he removed his cap, held it aloft to return the fans' salute. The cheering got even louder, and he said the most exciting, most thrilling moment in his baseball career, and that includes World Series, All-Stars, World Baseball Classic. It was that salute from the fans. And by the way, it happened to be on Mother's Day. There were a lot of pictures of him doffing his cap to the fans, and his wife eventually had a painting done of that particular moment, and the artwork hangs in the family house, I think in the kitchen. 2-2 the count. Vogelsong ready. Right-hander delivers, and it is strike 3 called to Hanley Ramirez, and the Dodgers leave 2. And at the end of 3, the Giants 8 and the Dodgers nada. The Ram 1500, Motor Trend's 2014 Truck of the Year, and first ever back-to-back champion. 4th inning, 8-0 in favor of the Giants. They scored 6 in the first inning and 2 more in the second. Chasing Ryu, young Jose Dominguez on the mound. Dominguez, 23 years old. He'd be 24 August 7th. And he'll be pitching to Buster Posey, who doubled and reached on an error by Ramirez. So Buster 1 for 2 and a strike. You know, when you look at Posey last year, he wound up hitting .294 after hitting .336 the year before. Before the All-Star break, Posey was Posey. I mean, he hit .325. Goes after a bad ball up 0-2. He had 13 home runs, 56 RBIs in 90 games before the break. After the break, if you look at the cold numbers, he had only 2 home runs. He had only 16 runs batted in 58 games. The numbers don't tell you, however, he played with a fractured finger in September and played in 148 games. So he's something. We do it once a year just because people wonder. Buster's true name, Gerald Dempsey Posey III. Another pitch up and he chases it. Down he goes. So young Jose has struck out 2. Michael Morse singled and fouled out. His single drove in 2 runs, the first 2 runs of the game. Dodgers had 2 men on in the 3rd inning, but Ramirez came up empty. That's the closest they have come to scoring a run. So here's Morse, who's had a long career, and first ball swinging, lifts it to right center and deep. Ball is really carrying Kemp to the track at the wall, the one-hander. Well, that ball really traveled. Morse looked out there as if to think they must have moved the fence. A long out to right center. 2 down. Young Dominguez has retired 5 in a row, and Brandon Belt coming up. Game 1, remember, of a 3-game series. Giants and Dodgers tomorrow at 1:10 with Madison Bumgarner and Paul Maholm. And then Sunday at 5, Zach Greinke and Matt Cain. Belt going after the first pitch. 0-1. Matt Cain, a marvelous pitcher, had an off year last year, but he'll be heard from again, you can bet, this year. And of course, Zanke, an incredible pitcher on his own. 0-1 the count. Big swing. Brandon Belt. We told you about the numbers he put up last year. Very close to those put up by Paul Goldschmidt. This will be his 4th year as a Giant, and he just keeps getting better. First year 225, second year 275, third year 289. And all the pitches up, and he strikes out 2 to give him 3 strikeouts in 2 innings for Jose Dominguez. But at the end of 3.5, it's 8-0. Superior performing tires that knock it out of the park. Goodyear, more driven. Giants lead the Dodgers 8-0 in the 4th inning. You know, you talk about history repeating itself. The very first Giant Dodger game played on the West Coast between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants was April the 15th, 1958 at Seal Stadium. And the final score of that game, Giants 8, Dodgers nothing. Don Drysdale went 3 2/3 innings and gave up 6 of the 8 runs. The next day, the Dodgers came back and beat the Giants 13-1. Slow curveball a strike to Adrian Gonzalez. Gonzalez grounded out, hard ground ball off Belt's glove, deflected to Hicks, who threw the Vogelsong. They load up the right side. They play their second baseman Hicks maybe 20 feet out into right field. Pablo Sandoval is all alone on the left side. So Gonzalez is going to see the shift all the time. He saw it every at-bat in San Diego when necessary. There are times you can't put on a shift with men on base. Big slow curveball in there. And basically the book on Gonzalez, which is why they put the shift on, when he pulls the ball, it's usually a ground ball. The other at-bats he hits fly balls to left field or base hits to left. But they figure the percentage is their way. Load up the right side. And he lifts, sure enough, fly ball to left and deep. Back goes Morse to the track at the scoreboard. It is gone, would you believe? Adrian Gonzalez goes the other way with a fly ball home run, and it's 8-1 in favor of the Giants. So Gonzalez follows the book. He got a pitch away, and he doesn't try to pull it. He goes the other way. Might have got more of it than he thought he got. And Morse went up, couldn't reach over the scoreboard, and it went out of sight for the home run. So the Dodgers get on the scoreboard, trail 8-1, and the batter is Andre Ethier, who walked in the second inning. So five's handed out to Adrian. Ethier taking a strike. 0-1 the count to Adrian. Andre up there now. Gonzalez getting fives from everybody on the club, including Yasiel Puig, who might make an appearance today, maybe. Next pitch fouled off, 0-2. We mentioned it. Puig was in the original lineup and was late for whatever reason to the ballpark. By late meaning when he got here, the players were already dressed and on the field, and that's against the rules. You late, you pay. So they lifted Puig and put Kemp into the starting lineup. 1-2 the count. Ethier followed by Uribe. Eight runs, 8 hits for the Giants. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 errors for the Dodgers. Fastball low. 2-2 the count. Dodgers split 10 games with the Giants here last year. They went up north and the Giants won 6 of 9. Two balls and 2 strikes. High fly ball to right field. Back to the track goes Pence at the scoreboard. That's gone. So back-to-back home runs by Adrian Gonzalez and Andre Ethier. The Dodgers get on the board as they try to bring the crowd back into the game. It's 8-2 San Francisco. And remember what we told you earlier? The fact that Ryan Vogelsong has a lot of trouble the second time around. Well, this is the second time around. For Vogelsong, maybe love is special the second time around, but not to the opposition. And the batter now is Juan Uribe. And ball 1. The crowd always makes or breaks a game, so you'd like to see the Dodgers wake the crowd up. Both home runs, Kit, on 2 strike counts. 1-2 and 2-2. That's a check. 2 balls and no strike. Uribe hit a long fly ball to left field in the 2nd inning. Eight runs, 8 hits for the Giants. 2 runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. And there's a drive to center on his horse. Reaching up and watching it go against the wall is Pagan. Uribe on his way, and he's into second base safely with a slide. Dave Righetti, the pitching coach of the Giants, going out to talk. Puig showing some excitement as one of the favorites in the Dodger club. Juan Uribe doubles off the left center field wall. Pagan could not make a play, but he did get the carom right away. Got it back in, but there was no one on the bag at second base, and Uribe with a double. So the Dodgers trying to get off the floor. Second time around, Gonzalez homers. Second time around, Ethier homers. Second time around, Uribe doubles. And here's A.J. Ellis for the second time around. For the crowd, slowly coming back into the game. They were sitting on their hands when the Giants were whacking the Dodgers from pillar to post. Slow curveball for a strike to A.J. Ellis. A.J. struck out in the 2nd inning. Giants 8, Dodgers 2. 4th inning. Nobody out. Check swing. Bum check. That'll cost a strike. 0-2 to A.J. Ellis. We were talking about last year where Ryan Vogelsong was having trouble getting 2 strikes on hitters. Well, they got 2 strikes on Gonzalez and Ethier and gave up home runs today. 0-2 to A.J. Ellis. Off the plate, ball 1. Brandon League comes out on deck, down in the bullpen to begin warming up. So Dominguez did well, retired 6 in a row. Mattingly and Honeycutt hoping somehow club can wake up with the bat. On the hands, little roller. Brandon Belt will feed Vogelsong, and on the play, Uribe goes to third. For the Dodgers, they'd be happy indeed to be able to get Uribe home, little at a time. 2 here, 3 there. Scott Van Slyke comes out on deck. He would bat for Dominguez, and the batter is D. Gordon, who singled to left field in the 3rd inning. And despite the fact the team was down 8-0, he stole second base. Didn't score. So D, with that somewhat inflated early season average of .429, just trying to pick up Uribe. The corners are up, thinking about a bunt. Full swing foul, 0-1.
Everybody clap your hands.
0-1 the count to D. Gordon. Belt little back now, but at third, Sandoval right on the edge of the grass. Full swing foul. Dodgers would be happy enough if Gordon hit a ground ball to Brandon Hicks or a ground ball to Joaquin Arias. That's really all they would be satisfied with. The big point, get Uribe home. No pop fly, make contact. We'll see if he can do it. Uribe down the line. Sandoval way off the bag now with 2 strikes. Gordon desperate to make contact. Ball 1. Gordon, while playing in San Diego, brought back memories of Rafael Furcal. He came up, tried to bunt the ball to the shortstop, slapped it to third baseman Chase Headley, but he's thinking like Furcal. 1-2. Lays off a bad ball. 2-2. I think the Dodgers would feel they're back in the game, especially if they can get Uribe home. Van Slyke waiting for his opportunity. So this is a pretty big at bat for D. Gordon. 2-2 with 1 out. And a little pop fly, the last thing they wanted, and it'll be Sandoval. Now that's a killer as Gordon pops it up. 2 down, and now Scott Van Slyke. The Uribe listening to Lorenzo Bundy, and they announce Scott Van Slyke coming up. By the way, and it'll bring back a lot of memories, when Detroit is here, one of their coaches is Andy Van Slyke, Scott's father. And of course, it was Andy Van Slyke who was in the on-deck circle when Jack Clark hit the great home run in Cardinal history to beat the Dodgers back in 1985. So Dad's coming on Tuesday, and here's Scotty at the plate. 2 down, Uribe at third, 8-2 Giants. Ball 1. For young Dominguez, good day, retired 6 in a row and struck out 3 and threw strikes. That was a big thing. And ball 2, almost hit him. On deck, Carl Crawford. Van Slyke, so far this year, hitting 2 for 3. Vogelsong made some good pitches to get Gordon to pop up. 8-2 Giants. That's in there. 2-1. Vogelsong is in the 4th inning, and his pitch count is piling up. Number 80 will be on its way. Two balls, 1 strike. Breaking ball dropped in nicely. That was a fine pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fine unless you're Van Slyke. Two balls, 2 strikes. Bad swing, fooled on the pitch, and down he goes. So the Dodgers wake up a little bit. First, Adrian Gonzalez homers to left field. They're pitching him down. Top of the fifth inning. You know, Tuesday, the Dodgers and Tigers at 7:10, and the first 40,000 fans in attendance receive a Dodger zip-up hooded sweatshirt presented by Time Warner Cable. To secure your tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Brandon Lee coming in. He has seen some tough days. He is only 31. Brandon, born in Sacramento, lives in Honolulu and grew up over there. Went to St. Louis High School in Honolulu. A surfer, as you can well imagine. Brandon originally signed by Toronto, second-round pick back in 2001. And he's facing Brandon Hicks and gets a strike. Remember that Brandon Lee had some very serious work to get well for this year, and he's bounced back. Strike one pitch on the way. Evens it up 1-1. Last year, he was 6-4, but a high ERA, about 5.5. Then with the Blue Jays, the Mariners, third year with the Dodgers. Bouncer to the mound. One away. So Brandon Hicks, who had two doubles, they finally get him to go 2 for 3. One out, and Joaquin Arias coming up. Walked intentionally, single left. Arias gave the Dodgers a bad time last year. Played in and out with shortstop Brandon Crawford. One reason that Brandon Crawford is certainly not playing and Arias is the fact the Dodgers last year shut Crawford down completely. He hit less than 100 in 51 at-bats. That was the lowest batting average against the Dodgers since Greg Olson of the Braves in 1991. There's Brandon Crawford sitting back. Went to school here at UCLA. Good player. But the Dodgers, they just ate him up. 0.98 batting average. So Arias played and played well. 1-2 the count. Top of the fifth inning, one out. Vogelsong on deck. And down goes Arias. So suddenly the bullpen can do what Ryu couldn't do today. Ryu gave up 8 runs in the first 2 innings. There were 2 errors behind him. But then young Dominguez retired 6 in a row, striking out 3. League comes in, strikes out 2. So 8 Giants in a row have been retired. And here's Vogelsong. Foul ball. Instead fair. Over to take it is Adrian, and that's that. So Nate down. That's 9 in a row retired, but it's a question, is a horse way down the road or is it catchable? It's 8-2 Giants. With us, they scored 6 times in the first inning. 12 men went to bat, and there was also an error along with a couple of walks. And then they bounced right back with 2 more in the second. Ryan Vogelsong finally touched up in the 4th inning. Back-to-back home runs by Adrian Gonzalez and Andre Ethier. Earlier, we made the remark about the fact that Vogelsong had a tough year, more ways than just wins and losses. He had a fractured hand, and he was out for almost 3 months, so that really messed him up. But a good, knowledgeable pitcher, a mainstay of the Giants in 2012, and you expect him to do a lot better this year. Last year, he seemed to tire in the 5th inning. 40% of the runs against him last year was scored in the 5th. Meanwhile, foul ball, 0-1 to Crawford. Well, those are the facts. He did tire in the 5th. We'll see if the Dodgers are inspired by that glimmer of hope. Crawford has flied to center, flied to left, 0 for 2. Kemp flied to right and walked. And Ramirez flied to left and struck out. 1 ball and 1 strike. Vogelsong basically fastball, curve. He also has a slider, a cutter, and a change. We talked about the fact that he had Bell's palsy. That's a virus paralyzing the left side of his face. That was back in 2003. He also had to have Tommy John surgery on his right elbow. Another thing that happened to him in 2012, he hurt his back lifting weights. So he's had his problems. And even last year, as we told you, he had a fractured hand, fouling off a pitch. Not with the bat, but more with his hand. He broke 2 bones on the right pinky, dislocated a knuckle, couldn't pop it back into place. He had a very tough couple of years. Gets a strike on the corner. 3-2 the count to Carl Crawford. Vogelsong has now made 86 pitches. 3-2. And a line drive, base hit into right field down the line. Pence over to get it. He's got a good arm. And he just fires it into the cutoff man, Brandon Hicks. So we'll see now whether Ryan Vogelsong will have trouble in the 5th inning. That was his problem last year. You know how closely they watch these players today. Another note on Vogelsong. On the first pitch last year, hitters hit .431. Whether it was 1 ball and no strikes or 0-1, they racked him up. David Huff, a left-hander, gets up down in the bullpen. There goes Crawford. The pitch is a strike. The throw on a hop is late. So despite the fact they were trailing 8-0, Gordon stole a base. Now they're trailing 8-2, and Crawford steals the base. They always say in the big leagues, you don't steal on the catcher. You steal on the pitcher, and obviously that's what's going on here. Vogelsong at 6'4", not doing a very good job holding on the runners. 0-1 the count to Matt Kemp. And he whacks it into left center. That's going to go to the wall. So in comes Crawford. Matt is into second base with a double, and hope springs eternal at Dodger Stadium. It is 8-3 Giants. So Matt Kemp wanted to come back, wanted to play, and doubles in a run. And this is the shaky 5th inning for Ryan Vogelsong. The Dave Righetti again going out to the mound. 8 runs, 8 hits for the Giants. 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Dodgers, who now have 2 home runs and 2 doubles and 2 stolen bases. So Righetti talking to Vogelsong. Kemp standing at second base, and the batter will be a very hungry Hanley Ramirez. Ramirez fly ball to left and struck out. Hanley was hitting 105 as David Huff heats up in a hurry. So Ramirez 0 for 2 today, is average well under 100 at 0.95. So Hanley, who hit a cool 345 last year, trying to come up with a key hit with Kemp at second, nobody out. Breaking ball off the plate on a check swing, no swing, says Joe West. 1 ball and no strike. Well, the way the Dodgers are running on Vogelsong, Pablo Sandoval, who is deep at third on Ramirez, has to keep an eye on Matt Kemp. It's Brandon Hicks' job to fake to the bag at second to try and hold Matt Kemp. Breaking ball missing, 2-0. 91 pitches made by Vogelsong, and he's in the 5th inning, no one out. Coming off 2 tough innings, 25 pitches in the 3rd inning and 26 pitches in the 4th. Boshi pacing up and down like a lion. Kemp looking for an opportunity, and the pitch to Ramirez taken for a strike. Dodgers began the game. They were 1 for 10. They had 2 walks, but that's all. Now they are 5 for 8, including those 4 extra base hits, the 2 doubles and 2 home runs. 2-0 to Hanley. Fastball missed. So Vogelsong, despite giving an 8-0 lead in 2 innings, does not have a victory. He has to go 5. Dodgers with Gonzalez waiting on deck. Breaking ball hit into left field, base hit. They will stop Kemp, and Morse gets the ball into Sandoval. So the Dodgers now have 1st and 3rd, and that'll be it. Bruce Bochy has decided, I have gone about as far as I can go. Line drive by Ramirez over a leaping Sandoval on out into left field. Kemp with the club down, stopped at 3rd, nobody out. So the Dodgers trying to get off the floor. Vogelsong will come out. David Huff, the left-hander, was throwing in the pen, and we'll be back. Goodyear with superior performing tires that knock it out of the park. Goodyear, more driven. Opening day at Dodger Stadium, the Dodgers buried under an 8-0 pileup of runs by the Giants. Now trying to dig their way out from under. They've managed to score 3, and they've managed to chase Ryan Vogelsong. David Huff is a local boy, and he'll face Adrian Gonzalez. David Huff was born in San Diego. He lives in Huntington Beach. He was with the Yankees and was acquired for cash last year. He was also with Cleveland. Went to Cypress College and transferred to UCLA. So David will be 30 in August. Been a pro since 2006. And he gets Gonzalez. They can't put a shift on, not with runners at first and third. And ball one. Gonzalez pulled a ground ball in the third inning and was thrown out. Fly ball home run to left field in the fourth, and Vogelsong in that tough spot for any pitcher, thinking of what might have been to let an 8-0 lead dissipate, and you can't go 5 innings. 2-0 to Adrian. Take a look. Since they had the shift on, Adrian went the other way. High fly ball to left, Morse to the wall, cleared the scoreboard, and the Dodgers had a run. Now they have Kemp at third, Ramirez at first, nobody out. And a strike. Good pitch, knee high, outside corner. 2-1 to count. Take another look. Down and away. Good fastball right on the edge, or on the black, as the players say. 2-1. 2-2. Adrian Gonzalez. Tough man, especially with runners in scoring position. Kemp and Ramirez waiting. Nobody out. 2-2 the count. On deck, Andre Ethier. In the dirt. Nice save by Posey. The 3-2 the count. Giants had another Huff earlier. Remember Aubrey Huff? And the Dodgers had Charlie Huff, although it wasn't spelled the same way. Full house. 3-2 the count. We'll watch Ramirez, and so will the left-hander Huff. He's not gone. And chasing a pitch down and away. Adrian checking with the umpire. Did I swing at a strike?
Andre Ethier.
So 1 out. That's a big out. So there have been 2 outs today for the Dodgers. So important. One was D. Gordon popping up to third base with a runner at third and 1 out. And now we'll see just how important that was for Gonzalez to fail to pick up a run. Andre Ethier walked and then homered. Down and away, ball 1. After Gonzalez went the other way, Ethier went to right field, got a breaking ball down around the ankles, and cleared the scoreboard despite the effort of Hunter Pence to hit it out. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-1. Dodgers have 3 runs, 7 hits. Missed an opportunity to pick up that run back in the 4th inning. Now we'll see whether they can seize the opportunity to pick up at least 1 here in the 5th. Adrian talking to Mark McGuire. They've been through the ups and the downs. Kemp at third. Ramirez at first. 1 out. 1-1 to Ethier. Ball 2, 2-1. Giants scored 6 in the first, came back with 2 in the second. Dodgers scored 2 in the fourth, and they picked up 1 here. And it's 8-3. 2-2. So Boshi gave Vogelsong every chance to go the required 5. Ryan couldn't do it. He's thoroughly upset, I'm sure, and frustrated. And Boshi makes a move which has turned out pretty well, bringing in the left-handed. 2-2. Foul back. 8 runs, 8 hits for the Giants. They've piled up some doubles. 3 doubles. Dodgers, meanwhile, 2 home runs and 2 doubles, but still down by 5. David Huff. And fouled away. Ethier trying to get that run home. Dodgers trying to do it one at a time if that be the case. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners at first and third. Gorgeous day this opening day. And the 2-2 pitch. Shot up the middle, over second, into center. Scoring is Matt Kemp. Stopping at second is Ramirez. And now the Giant lead is 8-4. So a big at-bat and a great at-bat for Andre Ethier. Down in the Giant bullpen, Juan Gutierrez begins to warm up, as does the crowd. And as we've often said, the crowd really plays a part, especially in a comeback. So here are the Dodgers trying to get off the floor. They have done half the job. Down 8-0. It's now 8-4. 2 on, still 1 out, and Juan Uribe against the left-hander. Fouled away. Oh, and 1 to count. The Juan Uribe flied to left, doubled, and they left him at third, and that could be very painful. A shot, a diving backhand save by Sandoval. Otherwise, that's down the line, and at least 1, maybe 2 score. Great play by Pablo Sandoval on a bullet off Juan Uribe's bat. Take another look. Huge play. So Sandoval, who is known, of course, for his switch hitting ability, but he brings a big glove. He's in better shape, it seems to me, than he was last year. He looks slimmer, certainly more fit. And a big play. So 2 out, and here's Ellis, struck out, grounded out, and a strike. Boy, that could be a game-saving play by Pablo Sandoval. Ethier, Ramirez out on the lines, now 2 down. Away, 1-1. 8-4 in favor of the Giants. Only in the 5th inning. One ball and 1 strike. Fouled away down the line. 1-2 to A.J. Ellis. Ellis has 3 hits in 18 at-bats. Huff trying to put him away. Angel Pagan will lead off the 6th inning for San Francisco. Little ground foul. Still 1-2. So 2 plays in a game that started out 8-0. Gordon's pop fly leaving Uribe at third with 1 out. And then Uribe's bullet and that great play by Sandoval. Otherwise, Dodgers very much right in it. 1-2. Fouled away. Ellis goes to right field a lot. That ball he hit in San Diego was heading for the wall. Only a great catch by Will Venable, who hit the wall and bounced over and went heels over teacup. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Got him. Fastball at the knees, inside corner. So for the Dodgers, they've had 3 important at-bats, and they've gone 0 for 3. One of them, the robbery on Uribe, 8-4 San Francisco.
It's 11 of 19 last year, splitting 10 here. They'll be here tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Madison Bumgarner on the mound. He'll go up against the new Dodger, Paul Maholm, who has great stuff, hasn't pitched a lot, but it'll be a big assignment for him. And then Sunday, 5 p.m., that'll be Zach Greinke going up against Matt Cain. Giants and Dodgers. It's great. Hope you'll be out here with us. And let's get back to this one.
Leading off for the Giants in the 6th inning, Angel Pagan.
Giants with Madison Bumgarner and Matt Cain wearing the sunglasses, looking out of the Giant dugout. 8-4 Giants, 6th inning, and Angel Pagan to start it off. And that's ball 1. Pagan will be followed by Pence and then Sandoval. Pagan, after aggravating his left hamstring in a rehab stat, and he went to Class A, came back and had to have surgery, so he was knocked out for quite a while. However, he's battled back. No one can take the Giants for granted, even though they had a bad year last year. They were 10 games under 500. But you have to remember, the middle of May last year, the Giants were leading the National League West under the tutelage of Bruce Bochy. They were leading by 2.5 games. And then they went 17-35 to drop out of the race. That's ball 3. They hit only 9 home runs in the month of July, and one of the reasons they didn't have Pagan. Angel missed 82 games to hamstring surgery. Show you how valuable he is in numbers. That's ball 4. When he plays, the Giants are 30 games above 500. When he doesn't play, the Giants are 12 games under 500. So it's a huge difference. Pagan with a walk, a base hit, and an RBI. And now you have Hunter Pence. Watching Pagan, who is healthy and runs well now that the hamstring's been repaired. Giants trying to take the offense back. One ball, no strikes. Giants had 8 runs, 8 hits in the first 2 innings. Then the Dodger bullpen came in and retired 9 in a row. So now they're trying to wake up again. And here's Pence with Sandoval on deck. Hunter Pence had a brother, Howie, who pitched in the Padres organization but never quite made it. Foul back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pence is well put together, 6'4", 215, and league studies him. Pretty remarkable that he played in every game last year. You just can't find people playing 162 games. The first Giant since their captain, Alvin Dark, way back in 1954. And last year he played in every game, and he only sat down a total of 16 innings all year. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pagan leaning, not going. Ball 2. 2-1. Pence, one of those fellows who had a great moment for his brother. His brother called him and said, "My wife just delivered a baby, hit one for the new babe." And that night in the ball game, sure enough, he hit one. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pagan doesn't go, fouled at the plate. 2-2. When you look at most RBIs in a game at Dodger Stadium, Dave Kingman, back in 1976 with the Mets, and in 1978 with the Cubs, had 8 RBIs, most in a game at Dodger Stadium. So did Fernando Tatis. There goes Pagan. The pitch outside. No, it's a strike, and a late call for the strike at the plate. So Hunter Pence is called out on strikes, and Pagan is shot down by A.J. There's the play. You haven't seen the umpire call it yet. And the ball was almost down to second base before Porter indicated. Now Bruce Bochy is going out, seeing Pagan argue. And we'll see whether Bochy is going to carry it to second base umpire Marty Foster. We can take a look. We'll see whether there'll be a challenge or not. Looked like Gordon's tag might have been behind the runner. I think that's Bochy's point. Bruce looking to the dugout. Do I want to challenge? Here's Gordon. Now he's got the ball. Watch the leg. He's going to tag. Got the leg just before the foot hit the bag. Bochy's been signaled by the bench. No challenge. And just like that, 2 down. I think Pence was a little surprised at strike 3 called. The call by young Alan Porter. The ball was almost to second base. So quickly, 2 out here in the 6th. Pablo Sandoval, who certainly made a huge play. It gets bigger every inning now. taking that double away from Uribe. Foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pablo Sandoval has moved into the record books. You know, there are only 6 players in Major League Baseball history have had a 3 home run game in both the regular season and the postseason. Who are they? Well, they're pretty big names. Adrian Beltre, George Brett, Reggie Jackson, Albert Pujols, Babe Ruth, and Pablo. One and two the count. 2-2. I think Sandoval has had 3 at-bats, All-Star and World Series against Justin Verlander, and he has 2 home runs and a triple against Verlander. 2-2. Chased a sinker, still 2-2. Pablo Sandoval, among other things, hit for the cycle a couple of years ago against Colorado. Because he hit for the cycle, he paid the price too. He broke the hamate bone on each hand. And down he goes. Another nice inning. Brandon League and the Dodger bullpen. And at the end of 5.5, 8-4, San Francisco. Down 8-4. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning with a reminder. Bring the kids to Dodger Stadium Sunday. Dodgers and Giants at 5. And the first 15,000 kids 14 and under in attendance take home a Yasiel Puig Fathead. Compliments of Time Warner Cable. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotion. D. Gordon had 2 at-bats, one bigger than the other. 3rd inning, he single left, stole second, leading off. Dodgers were down 8-0, and they were not able to pick him up. And then Gordon came up with a runner at 3rd and 1 out. And after a tough at-bat, went deep in the count and then popped it up. The other big opportunity was that line drive by Uribe that was caught by Sandoval. Justin Turner will come up and bat. Van Slyke hit for Dominguez. Turner would hit for League. Down in the pen, Chris Withrow getting ready. A bunt, foul ball. So Gordon coming back, 1-2 the count. David Huff riding to the rescue in relief of Ryan Vogelsong, who couldn't go 5, leading 8-0 at the end of 2 as the Dodgers rallied. And that was the trend that Vogelsong had last year, and he was faced with it today. The second time around, he gave up 2 home runs and a double. The bunt, and it's a good bunt. He will beat it out. So D. Gordon lays down a dandy up along third. He was not trying to slap that ball to short. He was bunting for the base hit. And Sandoval could not catch up to it. Perfectly executed. Boy, if you could do that every at-bat, you'd never swing. Though a perfect bunt, D's aboard. And the batter now will be Justin Turner, hitting for Brandon Lee. Justin Turner, a local boy. Turner from Long Beach, went to Cal State Fullerton. And a strike. Justin played a lot for the New York Mets. When Turner was at Cal State in the College World Series trying to bunt, he was hit in the face. Later on, he broke a bone in his ankle. So his college days were fun up to a point. Signed by the Reds 8 years ago. Justin, reddish blonde hair and beard, so he has the nickname of Red. 0-1 to count. David Huff working on Justin Turner. David lives in Huntington Beach. Justin, a local boy who grew up in Long Beach. 8-4, favor the Giants. 6th inning, Gordon at first. 1 ball and 1 strike. If you weren't with us earlier, the Giants sent 12 men to the plate in the first inning, scored 6, added 2 more in the second inning. The Dodgers have been trying to get back into it, and they're down 8-4. The bullpen has been magnificent for the Dodgers. After Ryu left, Dominguez came in and retired 6 in a row, made only 18 pitches. League has been in there. He's made 24 pitches. Dominguez struck out 3. League struck out 3. Gordon has stolen 4 out of 5. Well, the Giants are really watching him here. There he goes. Pitch is missed at the plate. Bad throw on a bounce into center field. So Gordon is up on his way to third. So D steals second base, takes third on the overthrow. And there you have it. The Dodgers now have had a chance to actually catch up. Down 8-0. It's 8-4. They left Gordon at second in the third inning. They left Uribe at third because of that great play. So now they have a runner at third with 1 out. And here's Crawford. And he pops it up. Another missed opportunity for the Dodgers. Boy, have they had chances. So the batter now will be Matt Kemp. And Boshi thinks he's dodged a bullet. And we'll see if he goes to the pen. He's had Juan Gutierrez down there, the right-hander. So David Huff goes out. He's fortunate
that Sandoval made that great play on the bullet hit by Uribe, and we'll be right back.
Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Try the new Bacon Insider. It's got bacon mixed right into the patty at participating restaurants. And by your Southern California Mazda dealer. 8-4 in favor of the Giants. The Dodgers getting opportunities to actually catch up, and they have not been able to do just that. So now, after seeing Vogelsong and Huff, they'll see the right-hander, J.C. Gutierrez. Gutierrez, a big man. He is 6'3" and at least 247 pounds. He's from Venezuela, lives in Caracas. Originally came up with Houston, then went to Arizona, Kansas City, the Angels, and now here with San Francisco. Gordon at third, bluffing down the line, and Matt Kemp trying to pick him up. Ball one. Matt Kemp flied to right, walked, and doubled in Crawford in the fifth inning. With a break, the Dodgers would be down by 1 run, and Gordon would be the tying run at third, but they haven't gotten that break, though they're down by 4. Ball 2. On deck, Hanley Ramirez. Well, Kemp is 1 for 2, Ramirez 1 for 3, Gonzalez 1 for 3. Two and 0. And a strike, 2-1. Kemp is annoyed, so he takes a little walk away from the plate umpire. Question of whether it ran across the plate or not. Two balls, 1 strike. 6th inning, runner at third, 2 out, 8-4 Giants. 2-2. On deck, Ramirez followed by Gonzalez. Dodgers so close to being very much back in the game. 2-2. So the Dodgers miss another opportunity. Despite the fact they were down 8-0, they could easily be right there, but they are not. And at the end of 6, 8-4 Giants.
stretch. It's anyone's race. And Dodger Dog Day wins.
Aerial coverage provides by Goodyear with superior performing tires that knock it out of the park. Goodyear, more driven. Giants holding on to that 8-4 lead. Dodgers kicking themselves for missed opportunities. Chris Rithrow will now come out of the Dodger bullpen and hope to pitch as well, as Messrs. Dominguez League did very, very well. Dominguez 18 pitches. He retired 9 in a row. Then Lee came in, got some outs. So the Dodgers go to the 7th, still in the game, and still very frustrated. The difference between the two teams today, with runners in scoring position, the Giants are 6 for 7. The Dodgers, with runners in scoring position, are just 3 for 14. And thereby hangs the tail. Of course, one of those outs was that bullet by Uribe, who had doubled in the 4th inning and smashed one, and a diving catch by Sandoval. That meant 1 or 2 runs all by itself. Ball 1 to Buster Posey. Posey, as young as he is already one of 7 players to become a member of a very elite club. Big overhand curve for a strike. 7 players have won a league MVP, a batting title, and the World Series in the same year. And who are they? Some of the greats. DiMaggio, Musial, Mays, Mantle, Robinson, Grote, and Posey. Maybe the only name you don't remember is Dick Grote. Very good basketball player in college, captain of the Pirates. Out-hit a Dodger, Norm Larker, to win the batting championship, and do the same in the '60 World Series. That's the series forever remembered, the bad hop that struck Tony Kubek in the throat, and the World Series game-winning home run by Bill Mazeroski. Wow. 54 years ago. Frank Robinson did it in 1966, and 46 years later, Buster Posey did it. 2-2. Pop foul, should go out of play, and will. Game 1 of a 3-game series. Remember, the Giants and Dodgers split 10 here last year. Giants, however, went on to win 6 of 9 at AT&T Park. Two balls, 2 strikes. Would not chase the breaking ball. 3-2. Waiting on deck, hitting behind Posey, Michael Morse. Another thing Posey did that catchers don't do, he won the batting title. Not now, as he strikes out. 1 away. I mean, catchers with such wear and tear on the legs, they just don't get any infield hits. So they've only been 2 catchers to win the batting title, both with the Reds. Bubbles Hargrave way back in 1926. Ernie Lombardi, 1938 and 1942. And then Buster. So here's Morse, single, fouled out, fly to center, 1 for 3. and a strike. 0-1. Morse playing left field. Giants hope that he'll provide some sock. They're left fielders, and they had a bunch of them last year. Hit a total of 5 home runs. Off the plate. Back in 2011, when Michael Morse was playing with the Washington Nationals, he hit 31 home runs. Ball 2, 2-1. Last year, Michael Morse had a wrist injury. There's a beach ball loose in deep right center, so timeout while they run it down. Morse has played with the Mariners, the Nationals, the Orioles, now the Giants. Big fella, 6'5", 230. You look at him and you figure he hit 30 home runs. He had 13 last year. Bad wrist. 2-1. Big swing. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chris Withrow trying to follow in the steps of Dominguez and League. Boy, they were great. Three and 2 the count. Giants are hoping that Morse, with Belt hitting back of him, will go on a home run tear. He hits them down the line. That's going to go foul. Last year, Michael Morse hit 6 home runs in his first 9 games with Seattle. With the Giants, he had a calf issue, but he still hit 294. Michael's first at bat, a base hit drove in 2 in the first inning. 3 and 2. And strike 3. So Withrow comes in, gets his second strikeout. That's 4 strikeouts in a row, starting with Pence, Sandoval, Posey, and Morse. So let's see. Ryu had 2. Dominguez had 3. League had 3. That's 8. Withrow has 2. That's 10 Giants have struck out. They have not had a hit since Pagan singled. Now make it Hicks doubled, and then the single by Arias way back. Second inning. But they're leading. 8 runs, 8 hits. Dodgers now, just to frustrate themselves even more, have out-hit the Giants. 4 runs, 9 hits. Belt is single, grounded out, struck out. 1-1. Ground ball. Adrian will take it to the bag. So another nice spot of relief. Chris Withrow. That's 3, 6, 9, 12, really. 15 in a row. Giants go down, but they lead 8-4. 8-4 in favor of the Giants. They led 8-0 before the chairs were warm. Juan Perez takes over in left field now for Michael Morse. Dodgers will start Ramirez, Gonzalez, and Ethier in that order. Hanley Ramirez flied to left, struck out, single to left. That's in for a strike. Hanley flied to left in the first inning, struck out with 2 on in the third, and singled in the fifth. Vogelsong, Huff, and Gutierrez, and a sellout crowd as expected. 0-2. 53,493. On deck, Gonzalez, he's 1 for 3, a home run to left field. And behind Gonzalez, Ethier, who's bidding for a perfect day with a walk, a single, and a home run. Hot up the middle, base hit. So again, the Dodgers keep getting men on base, and it's somewhat like a treadmill. They're not going anywhere.
Adrian Gonzalez.
So Adrian Gonzalez coming up. 1 for 3. They pitched him away with the shift on the right side, and he took it away, hit it over the left field scoreboard. Michael Morse to the board, but had no play. So Adrian hit it out. Then Ethier followed with a home run. Then Uribe followed with a double. But the Dodgers scored just the 2. And then in the fifth inning, the Dodgers scored 2. They had runners at first and second. And that's when Uribe hit that bullet, and the diving backhand catch by Pablo Sandoval saved the Giants bacon. Foul back. 0-1. The paid attendance 53,493. 5-3-4-9-3 on a beautiful day. Boy, it sure got overcast by the second inning when it was 8-0 Giants. 0-1 to Adrian. 0-2. Dodgers did some pretty good 2-strike hitting today, and it's pointed up again. The count to Ramirez in the 7th inning was 0-2, and Hanley singled. I'm sure Dave Righetti and Boshi are not very happy about that. (0-2). Shift is on. Swung all the way around. So there's nobody between short and the bag at third. And that's fouled and out of play. I mean, you want to talk about committing. The Giants really commit. You look at the left side of the infield. Pablo Sandoval is beyond the hole at short. So from Sandoval to third base, that is wide open. That's the way Boshi wants to play. He wants to have Gonzalez go the other way with fly balls. Once in a while he'll get burned with a home run, but only once in a while to left field. 0-2. Runner goes, and it's foul back. So the Dodgers trying to run today. Gordon stole in the third inning when they were trailing 8-0. Crawford stole in the fifth inning when they were trailing 8-2. Gordon stole in the sixth inning when they were trailing 8-4. And now Ramirez was going here in the seventh. So the Dodgers trying to run their way back. No balls, 2 strikes. There he goes again, way outside. Posey's throw is high, but he gets it down late. Arias thought that he had gotten the foot, but he didn't. Boshi is on the top step, and he's going to come out. Arias obviously upset. So the Dodgers continue to run. Posey has not really had an exceptional throw. That's the best throw that he's made today, and even that was high and on the shortstop side of the bag. Arias had to reach to get it. The Ramirez is in there. Bochy is talking to Marty Foster again. Bochy, whatever he said to Foster. Now Joe West, who is the crew chief, coming in to join the conversation. And they are heading for the Dodger dugout. Here's the official review. We're in the 7th inning. There's Arias bringing the glove down. The tag is maybe there. You can't see the distance and difference between the glove and the leg. Now, from where Bochy is in the dugout for the Giants, it's an even tougher call. But I think he was watching Arias and his reaction. Arias thought he had him. Marty Foster had a pretty good look, and we're having the official review. Giants have had a couple of reviews already this year in their series with Arizona. The umpires have checked with New York. And the outside is given. Here's another look at the tag. We couldn't tell here, but obviously from a lot of other angles they saw it applied. The back of the glove to the leg just before the foot. So Hanley Ramirez is out. The umpires accepted the challenge. Bochy won. And the batter Gonzalez up there 1-2. And pitch away, and Gonzalez chased it. So sometimes even the veterans force things, and he strikes out 2 in a row. Andre Ethier coming up. So Ramirez singles out on a very close play. Surprising the Dodgers are running as much as they are, down by so much, but it's paid off until Ramirez, and even that was bang bang. So 2 out. Ethier has walked, homered, and singled. It's been a perfect day for Andre and a rather bleak day for many of the other Dodgers. Don't forget tomorrow, 1 o'clock, Bumgarner and Mahalam. And then Sunday at 5, Kane and Greinke. Ball 1. Andre walked in the 2nd inning, homered in the 4th to right field, single to center in the 5th. 8 runs, 8 hits for the Giants, 4 runs, 10 hits for the Dodgers. 1-1. When the Giants come up, they'll have Hicks and Arias, and then Gutierrez spot. J.C. Gutierrez picking up for David Huff, who picked up for Ryan Vogelsong. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled away. 1-2. With the paid attendance of 53,000, the Dodgers have drawn 3 million or more 27 times in club history, 17 times in the last 18. They certainly figure to do it again this year. 2-2 the count to Andre Ethier. We're in the 7th, and it's 8-4 Giants. They have led since they scored 6 times in the 1st inning. chased a bad ball. Down he goes. Dodgers might be pressing a little bit now as they're running out of innings. And at the end of 7, it's 8-4 Giants. And we go to the top of the 8th inning. Upcoming games on the Dodgers schedule, but you probably know as well as we do. 2 with the Giants, tomorrow at 1, Sunday at 5, Monday an off day. Then Brad Ausmus and the Tigers come here. Brad is the new skipper, and he'll take the Tigers here Tuesday and Wednesday night at 7. Dodgers then are off on Thursday and fly over to Arizona. They have 3 with Arizona. Then Sunday they'll have Monday off and go to San Francisco to play the Giants again before finally coming back here. And when they come back here, they'll play Arizona again, followed by Philadelphia and Colorado. Meanwhile, we're in the 8th inning. It's 8-4 in favor of the Giants. Chris Withrow, fastball for ball 1. The bullpen, Messrs. Dominguez, League, and Withrow, have done a tremendous job. They have struck out 8 amongst them. Dominguez 3, League 3, Withrow 2. Hicks doubled twice, hit back to the box. That's a strike. For Hicks, a great story of a non-roster player battling in spring training and making the club. He's from College Station, Texas. He's an Aggie, went to Texas A&M. Originally signed by the Atlanta Braves back in 2007. Actually came up to the Braves for a cup of coffee in 10, again in 11, and now with the Giants. Two and 1. That makes it 3-1. The biggest thing, like so many young players, will he hit enough in the big leagues? That would be the question. Brandon takes a strike, 3-2. Chris Withrow. The Dodgers have famous players in the bullpen, and then they have some that are unknown, like Dominguez, and there are some who are just kind of overlooked a little bit, like Withrow. He is another good one. That's his 3rd strikeout as he takes care of a hit. So that's 9 strikeouts from the bullpen against the Giants. They've stopped them cold. But the Dodgers on that treadmill as far as the offense is concerned. So Dominguez had 3 strikeouts. Brandon League had 3. And now Withrow has 3. And here's Arias. Was walked intentionally, single to left, and struck out. chased a bad ball, 0-1. Fourth opening day for Joaquin. He's 24 make him 29 years old. Had a good year last year, hit 271. Took advantage of the fact that Brandon Crawford struggled. 1-1. Ray Adrianza out on deck circle. This was his first opening day, so you can imagine as he stands in the on deck circle. 24 years old. Just off the plate. 2-1. Spells that first name Ehire. Ray. Last year he played in 9 major league games. Two and two. When the Dodgers come up in the 8th inning, they're running out of time. They'll have Uribe, Ellis, and Gordon. Two balls and 2 strikes. Got him. So the strikeout parade continues. That 6 of the last 7 Giants have struck out. You had Pence strike out, followed by Sandoval, followed by Posey, followed by Morse, followed by Hicks, followed by Arias. In that string, the only man to hit the ball, Brandon Belt, hit a ground ball. So Adrianza, he's from Venezuela, Guarenas. Giant is a Giant free agent. Basically utility player. He played that role in spring training. Remember Ozzie Guillen, the manager of the Chicago White Sox? Ray is his godson. An even 6, a stringy 170. Switch hitter. And a little foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Adrianza batting for Gutierrez. One ball, 1 strike. And fly ball in the gap. Ethier on the dead run picks it off. So the Giants go out. Outside of a walk, they have not had a base runner since the 2nd inning, but they lead 8-4. Tires that knock it out of the park. Goodyear, more driven. 8-4 in favor of the Giants. We've worked our way to the bottom of the 8th inning. Gene Machi from Venezuela. He was born in a little town called El Tigre, the Tiger, and he's been just that in relief. Picked up a victory in the recent series against Arizona, and he has a record now last year of 3-1 with a great earned run average. So he was 2.3 last year, spent some time in Fresno. He's an even 6-footer and about 230 pounds, originally signed by the Phillies. He was a closer at Fresno. And in his debut against Arizona at the end of September 2 years ago, Machi retired Goldschmidt, Montero, and Johnson. 2 pop flies and a ground ball. So they fell in love with him, and here he is. Uribe, ball 1. The key play occurred with Uribe in the 5th inning. The Dodgers had scored twice. They had 2 on. And Uribe came up and hit a bullet with 1 out and a great diving backhand catch by Pablo Sandoval. You can take a look for yourself. If Pablo doesn't make this play, it's down the line for at least a double, maybe 2 runs. Dodgers then would be trailing 8-6, and who knows. But Pablo made the play, and it's still 8-4. Breaking ball fouled away. Uribe doubled the previous at bat, and first time up, fly to left. Dodger bullpen, they have Jamie Wright up again. So if they get down to Withrow, they'll hit for him. Jamie was up earlier. Foul back. J.C. Gutierrez pitching the 7th inning. Made 14 pitches, struck out 2. Oh, the Dodgers now running out of innings, bottom of the 8th. One and 2. Pulled just foul outside of third down the line. 1 o'clock tomorrow. Madison Bumgarner and Paul Maholm. Sunday at 5. Matt Cain and Zach Greinke. There's Bumgarner with the beard, Cain wearing the sunglasses. Bumgarner was 3-1 against the Dodgers last year. Did he? Yep. Uribe fooled this time on a pitch away and strikes out. So we were talking about the Giants striking out against the Dodgers. Now 4 of the last 5 Dodgers have struck out. Kemp in the 6th, Gonzalez here in the 7th, and now Uribe in the 8th. So 1 away. A.J. Ellis had a tough day. You always have a tough day when you go 0-4, but especially if you go 0-4 with people on base. Foul back. A.J. struck out with Efi aboard in the 2nd inning. Grounded out with Uribe at 2nd in the 4th, and struck out with 2 on in the 5th. On deck, D. Gordon, who has had a good day, 2 hits and 2 stolen bases, but failed to pick up a runner at third with 1 out in the 4th inning. Little slider for a strike. They say Machi speaks so softly, he is very hard to hear. Oh, and 2. Remember the name Freddie Hutchinson, the manager? He talked as softly as any human being I've ever met. You spent your entire conversation with him saying, what? 1-2. Fastball. AJ didn't get around on it. That carried upstairs. Fastball alley. Normally, a foul ball on a good fastball is in the second deck. That went above the press box level. So right away, you look at the velocity. It was 94 miles an hour. That's why it got up there. 1-2 to A.J. Ellis. Another fastball, but he took a little off that thing. Made 11 pitches, and he has one out here in the 8th inning. Dodgers with 10 hits and producing 4 runs. Way off the plate. Gordon waiting on deck. Dodgers would be getting a pinch hitter ready if they get a shot to bat for Withrow. 2-2. And a line drive at Arias. So for Ellis, he goes 0 for 4, 2 down. And D. Gordon. Gordon single and stole second. Bunted for a base hit and stole second. 2 for 3. With 2 stolen bases today, Gordon has now stolen 5 out of 6. Coming out to bat for Withrow, Sean Figgins. Talk about getting a pinch hitter ready. You have the luxury of time to actually have a pinch hitter leave the dugout, go down under the stands, and go to a full batting setup. In the old days, pinch hitter would just go to the back of the dugout up the runway and hit a ball off a tee into a net. But now they have a full batting cage. You can go down and really get some rips before being called. You can't just say the pinch hitter is coming off the bench cold. Not anymore. Not home. 1-1 the count to Gordon. B hitting .297 in his career against the Giants. Hitting about .438 this year. D will be 26 last week of April. 4th round pick by the Dodgers back in 08. And the son of a famous reliever, Tom Gordon, and he's robbed of a hit. A nice leaping catch by Brandon Hicks. So 1-2-3 inning for Machi, and at the end of 8-4 Giants. Android, BlackBerry 10, or Windows Phone 8. You can get scores, stats, highlights, live audio, and a lot more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit Dodgers.com for details. Jamie Wright has had a lot of opening days in his long career. He's witnessed 16 of them. But the one that means a great deal to Jamie was back in 2001. He was then with Milwaukee. He's been with half of baseball. And he started opening day here in Los Angeles at Dodger Stadium. At the time, there was some controversy over Gary Sheffield. And every time Gary came up, the fans booed. Must have been a contract dispute, Jamie Wright thinks. But anyway, in the 6th or 7th inning, he was matched up with Chan Ho Park, 0-0. And Sheffield, of all people, hit a home run, turned the boos into cheers, and they wind up beating Jamie Wright and Milwaukee 1-0. He said, I've been to a lot of them, but that's the one I will never forget. And a strike to Angel Pagan, who was struck out in single, fly to left, and walked. Pagan, with a base hit, has now hit in 5 straight, all 5 games that the Giants have played. Wright is due up first, so they'll be hitting for him in the bottom of the 9th. Then Crawford and Kemp. Pagan, Pence, and Sandoval. Ball 1. 1-1 the count to Angel. A healthy Pagan is certainly good news for the Giants. 32 years old. This would be his 7th opening day. Yesterday, he had a 3-run go-ahead home run in the 8th inning. Big chopper. Adrian takes it to the bag. And we have 1 away in the 9th inning.
Hunter Pence.
Hunter Pence flied to right, walked, struck out, and struck out again. So Pence 0 for 3. Seven opening days for Hunter. 2-time All-Star. Actually, by playing today, Pence has now started 176 consecutive games. Well, that's the longest streak in the National League. Second longest, Texas Prince Fielder. Fielder has had 508 starts. 1-1. Pence had a wonderful spring. Hit 354, hit 5 home runs. So he's ready. 1-1. Ball 2, 2-1. Pence is big. He's a home run hitter, but he's the only one around at his size who has hit home runs, who moves up on the bat. And he has the count his way now. 3-1 the count to Hunter. Most of them are right down on the end of the bat, but you can see the knob sticking out below his hands. '27 home runs last year. Chopper to third. Uribe stays with it and gets him. Pence flying down the line. So 2 out in the 9th inning. Again, it's rather remarkable. It's as if the Giants spent all their bullets in the first 2 innings. They had 6 runs in the first inning, 2 more in the second inning, and their offense has not been heard from again. They have not had a hit since the second inning. Doesn't make any difference. They're winning, but it is rather surprising. They have been thoroughly shut down by Dominguez, League, and Withrow. Here's Pablo. Down in the bullpen, the Giants have Javier Lopez, one of the best left-handers in the business, especially against left-hand batters. And then they have Yusmeiro Petit, the big right-hander. Pablo was walked, lined out to right, flied to left, struck out. We were talking about Pablo Sandoval and Justin Verlander of the Tigers. In the World Series of 2012, he hit 2 home runs against Verlander, including a first-inning home run. It was the first Giants home run ever in the opening inning of World Series 1 since Mel Ott, going all the way back to 1933 against the Washington Senators. In the All-Star game that year, Pablo also faced Verlander and tripled. A slimmed down Sandoval, and boy, that really helped him handling that line drive by Uribe. We talked earlier at the very start of the game about Pablo having such a great eye. He runs the count 3-1 now. We mentioned Freddie Freeman is number 1. Pablo's number 3. You know who's in the middle? The great eye, balls taken compared to strikes? Josh Hamilton. That's fouled, out of play. Brandon Belt of the Giants does very well in that department. Pablo from Carabobo, Venezuela. His father's in management for a large food company, and his mom has an electronics company, and he's going to be out. So, unbelievably so, the Giants have not had a hit from the second inning, and they're leading 8-4. Going to the bottom of the 9th inning, and they give the ball to left-hander Javier Lopez. Javier, born in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and the left-hander at 6'4", 205-pounder. His wife has a PhD in counseling and psychology, and he is certainly a smart guy. Javi has a degree in psychology from the University of Virginia. He has been absolutely phenomenal against left-hand hitters. I have a note, I'm not sure whether it's completely up to date, but since he came to the Giants, and he came to the Giants in 2010, left-handers were hitting 164 against him, about as good as there is. 36 years old, and the Giants so impressed with him that at 36, they gave him a 3-year contract. So Javi will start off against Sean Figgins, and Sean, switch hitter, will bat right-handed. And a strike. Figgins, who had his finest year as an Angel in 2009, had a couple of forgettable years with Seattle. That's a strike. 0-2. Sean at 5'8", 180, facing Javi Lopez. Lopez last year had an earned run average of 1.8, and he was in 69 games. I mean, he's as good as he comes. 0-2. A little breaking ball, maybe slider. 1-2. At Dodger Stadium, this place is a rest home for Javi Lopez. In his last 16 games here, that covers 10 1/3 innings. He is not allowed a run here. Kind of snakes that ball up to the plate. That was 84 miles an hour, and it evens the count 2-2. Nine times Javi's been on the opening day roster. Had a great career with the Rockies after moving on and having a really good 4 or 5 years with the Red Sox. Little roll to short. Arias in the dirt, but Belt good pick. One away. The batter now will be Carl Crawford.
Carl Crawford.
Crawford flied to center, flied to left, single to right, stole a base, and popped up. Scored a run. For the Giants, it's been Vogelsong, who did not go the required 5, so he had a possible victory, just get away. That has to be maddening, especially for a starting pitcher. Then David Huff, J.C. Gutierrez, Gene Machi, and now Javi Lopez. The Dodgers, Ryu, who gave up 8 runs, and then perfect bullpen. Dominguez, League, and Withrow. No hits. 9 strikeouts. In fact, the only thing the bullpen did in the 6th inning, Pagan got a walk against Brandon Lee, who then struck out Pence and struck out Sandoval. But the horse was way down the road by the time the bullpen got in action. So tomorrow at 1 o'clock, Dodgers will be battling to get a split. It will be Madison Bumgarner, certainly an ace for the Giants. Beat the Dodgers 3 times last year. And Madison will go up against a new Dodger, formerly with Pittsburgh, Paul Maholm. 53,493 here today. They tell me it's going to be warmer tomorrow, then exceptionally warm on Sunday and Monday. Three and 1 the count. David Wright, who finished up for the Dodgers, made 14 pitches. He retired the side in order. And Crawford lifting a high fly ball to right center. Pence on the track, fighting the sun, and makes the catch. 2 down in the 9th inning. With Vogelsong, Huff, Gutierrez, and Machi, now Lopez, the pitcher of record is David Huff. David made 29 pitches, and he could pick up the victory. David, who lives here in Huntington Beach, so I'm sure after the game they have a lot of relatives and friends to talk about a victory. High fly ball to right center. That ought to do it. Kent hits it to the center fielder Pagan, and this one goes in the books, kicking and screaming as far as the Dodgers are concerned. 8 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Giants. 4 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for the Dodgers. Huff the winner, Ryu the loser, and the big play of the game would have to involve Juan Uribe. It was in the 5th inning. The Dodgers had a chance, a diving catch by Pablo Sandoval, taking a short double away from Uribe. that would have scored at least one and maybe two, and the Dodgers come up losing, and that play certainly had a lot to do with it.
There were 23 strikeouts in today's game.
So 8 runs for the Giants, doing it in the first 2 innings, and then it was somewhat of a surprise. We'll show a little bit of the pregame ceremonies. It's always effective. The national anthem, the large flag, and then some redheaded left-hander handing the ball to Sandy Koufax. Who would throw with Koufax, Valenzuela, and Hershiser? Not me. We'll see you tomorrow at 1.